Well, there's lots of fancy ways of handling plant animations, getting them to move in the wind. Sometimes it's just really simple. Let's take a look at the tree I've got here. And, you know, it's just manually done. I haven't done any kind of fancy, hooking up of anything, because I just wanted to show that it's possible to do something in a very simple way. So this tree is blowing around. It's just one of the standard foliage trees that ships with 3ds Max. So I have foliage, dragged out, and I used a volume select. And if you take a look at the volume select, it's been set up to select vertices using a cylinder. So I've placed that up near the trunk. The idea being is I don't want that trunk to deform and blow around. I want the rest of it in sort of a fall off pattern going to the outside. So I've played around with how big that is and slid it in, into the middle of the tree. I then have use soft selection turned on, and I'm soft selecting out from that. But what I'm doing is I'm inverting the selection. So it's actually selecting all the outsides of the branches and everything. I've used an X form, and the X form is there just to try and offset the position a little bit. Now, you'll notice I can't move that, and the reason I can't move it is I'm actually driving it with some controllers. So we'll take a look at those in a second. I have a noise, same thing. I've got it, the phase is animated. So in this case, I've just keyed it so you can see that there's a key on it. And mesh select just to turn off the selection, and then a bend modifier. And the bend modifier's bend angle is just being controlled. And essentially you can just bend it in the direction that you're looking to have your tree bend and blow in the wind for. So what does this look like, in the controllers? Well, it's pretty straightforward. So I've got filters turned on here. So I'm showing selected and animated only, and filtering out. I've also got my controller types turned on so that I can see the controllers that have been applied to everything. So in the curve editor, there's the foliage object we have. And so we've got a couple of animations going on. One in the bend, I've just put a noise float. So this is just a noise float controller that I added by right-clicking and assign controller. And I've just got a little bit of noise that is just, getting at the bend modifier to sort of, wiggle back and forth a little bit. In the noises phase, so down here in the phase property, same thing, except this time I decided to go with just a phase and I keyed it. I could have done that in a couple of different ways again. And of course, I actually went in and set the controllers out of range types to be linear so that it just continues on and on and on and on forever. In the X form, down here, I have also got it so the position XYZ and just the X position in this case, I've thrown a noise in as well, just to sort of push that controller in a direction and kind of pull it sideways. I don't know that that's necessarily needed. It looks pretty good without that, when you've got it bending and the noise on, so you could forgo that and it works just as well. Now, is this perfect? Does it look as good as simulations from a high-end plugin? No, but if you need some trees in the background, it's a really down and dirty quick way of getting some animation happening on them that works perfectly well for a lot of productions.